Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? We're tackling AI in business today, going way beyond the hype to see what's really happening out there. Our guide is this Trade Magazine article. They analyzed a massive 266 million companies. Can you believe that? 266 million. So we've got the data, now let's make sense of it. Before we jump in, let me introduce our AI expert for this deep dive. Welcome, so glad to have you with us.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
Okay, so this article, first thing that grabbed me, it's just how much AI is everywhere. Nearly 75% of companies using it in some way. That's wild, right? Did that surprise you at all?
It's definitely everywhere, yeah. But the thing is, it's how it's being used. That's what I find interesting. It's popping up in places you'd never expect. Wineries, for example, some are using AI sensors, to check on the grapes when they're perfectly ripe. High-tech harvests.
Wow, see, that's what I mean. Who would have thought? It's like this quiet revolution happening behind the scenes in all these industries. But the article also said that crazy growth we saw with AI, it's kind of slowing down. You'd think it just keeps speeding up, right?
Right, exactly. What we're seeing now is that we're past that initial, like, oh, shiny new AI toy phase. Like, when everyone was buying gadgets they didn't even know how to use.
Oh, totally. Still do that sometimes.
Exactly. And that's what happened with AI at first. Everyone wanted in, chatbots, quick wins, all that. But now it's about really weaving AI into the whole business, how it actually works, not just a separate thing.
So less about having the chatbot and more about really changing your business with AI.
Exactly. And that brings us to this strategic gap the article talks about. Companies get so caught up in the hype, chasing the newest AI thing, they forget to look at the bigger picture. It's like buying tools without knowing what project you're doing.
Makes sense, like going to a buffet and just piling your plate.
Yeah.
End up with a mess, not really enjoying anything.
Exactly. And for companies, that can be a costly mistake. You end up with all these AI pieces that don't fit together, don't actually help your business goals.
So how do companies avoid this trap? What can they actually do?
Before even looking at AI tools, they got to ask the basic questions. What are our biggest problems? What's not working? What do we even want to achieve in the long run? And can AI help with that?
So figure out the why before the what and the how of AI.
Precisely. AI needs to be part of the whole business strategy, not off doing its own thing.
Makes a lot of sense. The article also talked about the challenges companies face. The skills gap was a big one.
Hmm.
What's that actually look like in the real world?
Sure. To build these AI systems, to use them, you need specific knowledge. Data scientists, engineers, even people who can understand the data AI spits out, they need data literacy. It's a skill set a lot of companies haven't developed yet.
So being data literate means you can actually understand the data, what it means.
Exactly. It's about understanding what the data represents, being able to spot patterns, and using it to make good business decisions.
Makes sense. But it sounds tricky. If you don't have AI experts, how do you even know what skills you need? Chicken and egg situation. It is a tough one for sure. But the article had some ideas, right? Like what companies can actually do about this.
Yeah, definitely. It's not impossible. One thing is invest in the people you already have. Training, online courses. There's so much out there to help people get those AI skills.
So you're basically getting your own team ready for the AI world. I like it.
Exactly. And it's working for a lot of companies. Another thing is partnering up. Universities, those tech incubators, they've got fresh talent coming out the wazoo.
Tapping into the next generation of AI brains.
Right. Win-win. Companies get the experts, those new grads get experience. Everyone's happy.
Speaking of real world, the article mentioned this data dilemma, right?
Hmm.
Fancy AI tools don't mean much if you're feeding them junk data, garbage in, garbage out, like they say.
And that's what trips so many companies up.
So how do you make sure you're not giving your AI system a bad diet? What can they actually do about the data itself?
Good question. It starts with having rules, basically. Data governance, it sounds boring, but it's essential. How you collect it, store it, manage it, got to be organized.
So a clean data culture, everyone in the company's got to be on board.
Exactly. Then there's the cleanup, going through what you already have, fixing errors, making sure it all makes sense.
Bring cleaning for your data.
Right. You want to be giving your AI good stuff to work with, or it's useless.
Speaking of, the article talked a lot about generative AI, which, no surprise there, it's what everyone's buzzing about.
Yeah, it's hot right now, for sure, and for good reason. Content, design, it could change everything.
But they were also careful to say it's not magic, right?
Yeah.
So you still need humans involved. It's not like AI is going to do it all for us.
Absolutely not. It's a tool, super powerful, but still a tool. It's got no creativity, no judgment. That's where humans come in.
Like having a crazy talented intern, tons of ideas, but they still need guidance from someone experienced, right?
Perfect analogy. Generative AI, it helps us do more. It doesn't replace us. That's the key.
Okay, so we've covered a lot, the strategy gap, the skills, the data issues, and now this generative AI boom. It's a lot for companies to handle, huh?
It's a lot, yeah, but that's what makes it exciting. The companies that figure it out, they're the ones who'll come out on top.
So let's bring it home for our listeners. Someone's hearing all this thinking, okay, AI is a big deal, but where do I fit in? What are the big takeaways from all this?
That's the million-dollar question.
It really is.
First things first, don't just follow the hype, you know? Figure out what your business needs, where the problems are, what you want to achieve.
Your why comes first, like we said.
Exactly. Then you can look at which AI tools can actually help you get there.
And that data part, can't forget that. Get it clean, keep it organized. It's the foundation.
For sure. Bad data, your AI is going to be useless. Simple as that.
And lastly, this isn't a one-time thing, right? It's an ongoing journey, figuring out AI.
100%. Things are changing constantly. You got to be ready to adapt, to keep learning. The companies that do that, they're the ones who will thrive in this new world.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure. Really enjoyed it.
One more thing before we go, something I've been thinking about this whole time.
I'm all ears.
We've talked a lot about how to use AI, the problems, the tools, all that. But it makes me wonder, why are we even doing this? What's the point of all this AI in our businesses?
That's a deep question. And I honestly think every company should be asking that because AI, it's not just about, doing things faster or whatever. This could change how we work, how we make decisions, even creativity. It's huge.
It feels massive, but hard to wrap your head around sometimes. Yeah.
It really is. And like any powerful technology, you got to be careful with it. It's our responsibility to use it right, to make sure it's good for everyone, not just some.
So it's not just the how-to stuff, but the should-we stuff too. The ethical side of AI.
100%. We should be talking about bias in those algorithms, what happens to jobs, being transparent, all that.
It's like we're building this powerful machine, but are we putting the right safety measures in place?
Exactly. And those conversations, they got to happen everywhere, not just in some CEO's office.
We're all responsible then, not just the tech people.
Exactly. What AI becomes, it's really up to us.
This has been amazing, really got me thinking. Thank you so much for your time.
Glad to be here. Really enjoyed it.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into AI in business. We hope you got a better sense of what's out there, the good and the bad, and the big questions we all got to be asking. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring the world of AI.